Jaime from Inky&Scrappy, sharing with you today a Barrel of Prayers card featuring Fawn's Plant a Succulent and changing those pre-printed background papers or pattern papers to something that you like a little better. Not that they weren't gorgeous to start with, but you know, when you look at them all the time, you're over it. So for this one to start, I decided to build my plant a succulent into a whiskey barrel, or the Build-A-Barrels from Fawn set with the Build-A-Barrel apples, I do believe. I used to have them in the front of my house, the whiskey barrel look, and have since gone to ceramic planters again because, you know, my whiskey barrels rotted out. Anyways, I love the look of them. I think they're gorgeous, and so I thought it would be fun to include them in my Plant a Succulent series. This was probably my favorite of the things I ended up putting them in, including the little planters that come with the set. I do like the Build-A-Barrel definitely a lot. I don't know, it just allows for a little bit fuller of a basket or a planter, and I liked the look. So I'm just kind of going through and deciding what is going to look best here. So for my little pieces there, they're all cut from some Hobby Lobby. I think it's like extra heavy cardstock, but it's printed on one side, and that printing, there's like a green yellow piece, there's like the pink and orange, and there's like a pink and purple, and then there's like a blue, green, I don't remember which one. There's like 4 or 5 different colors in there, and so as you can see, both of them are, or a few of them are being used here. I think one might even be the orange, yellow, and then to the green, but I can't remember exactly. Anyways, I've been looking at them for a while, and so I'm kind of over them at this point. Do you have that problem? They're gorgeous. I just was kind of like, it looks the same as the other piece of paper that comes in the set that looks exactly like it. And so I wanted to switch it up a little bit because I just wasn't feeling it when I was doing these. And so I ended up bringing in some of this picked raspberry Distress Oxide ink. And of course, Distress Oxides go great over everything because they'll kind of cover it up, but you can do it light enough that you're going to get a little bit of show through in the color that was underneath. And I loved it. That pink on top of that orange and yellow with the clouds. I just thought it was gorgeous. So, you know, I changed it to something that was a little more me for this one. Not that the other ones weren't me. They just, you know, I was over it. Do you ever have that problem? I shouldn't have that problem. It's really not that big of a deal. But yes, I was just over it. So I did die cut that grass piece out from, I want to say it is an old MFT die that's like the grassy border tucked in builder thingy. I don't remember. I didn't save the packaging because that was pre-YouTube channel stuff, but it's kind of a nice little one that cuts out an A2 landscape card, and so you can make it into a portrait one fairly easy by just cutting off the part that you don't want. But it allowed me to slip in this Build-A-Basket just into that little tuft of grass that just adds just a little something to it. And then I'm just going to finish building the rest of my basket here with some more pieces. I did end up adding a little bit more green to some of my greenery pieces. I think that's where I struggled with this one because it all looked like the same shade, and when you do your distress inking, you can get different shade variations a little bit better, and so I think that's what I was missing with all of my die cut pieces. They looked great for my class that I taught and used them for because we only made, you know, like one card that had one little piece on it, so it wasn't like, I don't know, you know, I wasn't doing multiple cards over and over again, but these have sat on my desk for so long that I think I've just looked at them for too long that I was just over the whole color of them, which is bad for me to say, I'm sure, but that was kind of where my head was at. And so I struggled with these immensely, but they did end up turning out pretty good. This one and the first one that I aired are probably my favorites from the 5 that I did with the leftovers on my desk. So I'm going to trim off the rest. I kind of just filled my basket a little bit more, or my barrel a little bit more, added some more color. I thought it just needed some more color towards the bottom, so I added in a couple more of those flowery parts of the Build a Succulent. And then I was kind of trying to decide how I wanted. I didn't want to put it on white because there really isn't a lot of white in the card. And so I was looking at card bases that were already pre-colored, and I just couldn't. The green one was probably okay. That was probably my second choice. And so I brought in just a white card base and decided on picked raspberry colored cardstock that went with it to do my border because the white was just too stark. So those card bases I bought off of Amazon. I'm pretty sure it was a small business shop thingy. They suck. They're not, when you fold them, they're not like, you have one side that's like way shorter than the other. It drives me insane. But I will use them. I bought them. I will not tell you where I got them from. I don't even remember at this point. I'd have to go and look it up, and that's just too much time. I will make sure that I don't buy them again. My best ones that I think I've found online are probably from envelopes.com, but they're super expensive. Probably why they're stupid, super expensive, because they're nice, thick, heavy cardstock and scored in the middle. It is what it is. So for this one, I needed a sentiment, and I just didn't know what I wanted for sure. So I brought in some of my TE Tailored Expressions. Like, you stamp the whole set of sentiments and then it cuts it all in one pass. They're amazing. Anyways, I decided the Holding You in My Prayers was appropriate for a, you know, semi-floral card, I guess. I don't do much for florals. Probably because I struggle with coloring florals, and so if it's not a stencil that I can just stencil and lay another stencil and get my shading right, I just struggle with them. Anyways, I probably don't struggle with them. In my head, I struggle with them, and so therefore I don't do a lot of them. I have some gorgeous ones, I just don't use them. So anyways, and then finding the placement here for my sentiment. So I did put it on the bottom. It kind of goes with the rest of it. So I just brought in a little bit of orange, whatever was on my blending brush, let's be honest here. Okay. All right, well, have an amazing day. Keep getting inky, and bye.